I have been doing this control, alternate, delete in my life ever so often as a cycle. It's important to do that only because it breaks two things. One is it breaks the monotony of what you perceive as success, which is very dangerous for success itself in terms of the kind of things you do to achieve success. And the second thing is to become more relevant to the world outside, which is vastly changing in today's times. You have to get out of your comfort zone, and for me, it was imperative to be um, somebody who's aspirational on screen. So anybody who sees an actor should not just think he's an actor. They should be able to assume and connect with him because of the kind of language I speak, or the words I use, or the culture that I portray. So this was a process that I already followed before the pandemic. When the pandemic came, it reiterated the fact that I was on the right path, because during the 2.5 years of this pandemic, when people were sitting at home and educating themselves, let me say educating, now they were watching a lot of, spending a lot of screen time and vastly improving their knowledge as well as their awareness about the world around them. You realize that as an actor, it was, you had to be ahead of them to get their respect. And a lot of films that were made pre-pandemic and during the pandemic are not finding takers today, simply because the audiences have moved on. They don't have the awe or the respect for the kind of storyteller or the actor that is telling the story. So during the pandemic, Control, Alternate, Delete became an essential survival tool. And I think it's an important theme for this conference that you guys have, that you people have chosen. And it's very, very important to understand exactly what it means. So when we say Control, Alternate, Delete, it basically means that during the pandemic, everybody went into a free fall. There was no comfort zone. Everybody, it doesn't matter how rich or how poor or how successful or struggling you were, you suddenly realized your world had changed. And the first thing to do when you say control is to control that free fall in terms of accepting it, that the world has changed. If you're trying to go back to the world which is pre-pandemic, you're going to fail. The entire sentiments, the way the teenagers think, the way the parents are thinking, the way the investors are thinking, the way the customer is thinking, all that has changed. So you take control in terms of accepting first that things have changed. And if you don't accept that, then you're not in control of your life. The alternate is, now that things have changed, what do you do to make yourself relevant in the new world? And I'm telling you, a lot of people will fall off the wagon because they do not have the ability to make those changes and go through with the changes that are required mentally, physically, attitude wise, spiritually, culturally. All these changes have happened and will continue to happen at a faster pace than ever before. So you will have to stay on top of that game. Investment patterns will change. Currencies and the way they're dealt with will change. People's retirement plans will change. Education and academics that is considered relevant will change. The pace at which somebody specializes in their lives. We used to specialize when we were 25, 26. You gentlemen, probably the older ones would specialize at a much earlier age. But now you have to specialize at a much in your teens to be relevant in the world that you're going out to. And they are doing it. And we have teenage billionaires, and you have billionaires from India who are in their early 20s and late 20s and early 30s. So they are creating the world. If you look at the top 2,500 Fortune 500 companies in the world, more than 50, 60% of them have CEOs from India who have actually gone and grown and born and brought up in this country. And it cannot be a coincidence that all of them are leading, CEOs are from India. So these are heroes for the people who are in today. They want to emulate them in terms of investment patterns or education or finding careers in different corners of the world. So are you ready, or are you making products for that generation that is actually admiring a Sundar Pichai or a Satya Nadella and want to emulate them? Because those are real heroes. Not only Indians, Chinese, Germans, French. Everybody wants to emulate a Sundar Pichai or a Satya Nadella. So what are we catering to in terms of that generation? That is the alternate part of this conference, where you're saying control. Alternate is to find new solutions, new spaces, new avenues of resources and revenue in the new world that we've emerged into, without doubt. And the delete part is where you have to delete your old habits. where you hold on to a lot of your culture because that's a safety net that you have. And I think cultural and spiritual um, uh, 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 background and your attachment to them is a great safety net, is a great way to keep yourself sane, and keep yourself relevant in the old age as you creep into it, because that's going to be the safety net that you require so badly, because nothing is a bigger curse than being irrelevant in the society that you live in. So you must stick to it, your culture as well as your spiritual beliefs. But apart from that, what are the other things that you will delete from your patterns, so that there is space enough to accommodate the new information that is coming into your life? And that's why I find the theme and the motto of this conference extremely valuable and extremely appropriate for today's world. I don't think that you could have found a better topic or a philosophy for the discussion.